Today you'll be tasked to prepare a 3-course vegan...
What's up?
What you want?
What weird thing you gonna ask us to do again?
Don't
throw at us.
Don't. Oh, good catch.
Today, you'll be tasked to prepare a 3-course
Vegan!
meal for your meat-loving colleagues Adria and Bolin. Your goal is to make them more open to eating dishes with no meat in them.
To be honest, right, I cook a lot of vegan food at home. You know why?
Nonsense.
No, legit. Because I'm so lazy, I just boil vegetables.
You can't use boiled vegetables to impress meat lovers.
That's true. You
Cannot use butter, cannot use milk, cannot use cheese, cannot use eggs.
Oh no!
Okay, the challenge that you gave us, honestly, is pretty hard. Can we have like 1 week to think about it?
But I hope Adria and Bolin today.
Huh? Today?
No, I'm kidding. when? Give me a time.
Okay,
Oh, just
7 days from now.
as 1 week later.
Okay.
Okay lah, can lah, aiya.
Same thing, as usual.
Yeah lah.
Appetizer, mains, dessert. Okay! Not very okay actually. Okay, let's
I need to think properly.
1 week later.
So for this dish, it's very, very simple. It's basically an assembly kind of dish. You just need to pour all the sauces into a bowl, heat up the soya milk, and then we'll just cut the prata into strips and deep fry them. So the ingredients that we need are Nutrisoy's high calcium, no sugar added soya milk, lauganma, sesame oil, vinegar, soya sauce, deep fried shallots, and frozen prata. So I've got my bowl here. This is basically my serving bowl already. I'm gonna pour in my black vinegar, my soya sauce, and my sesame oil. Now this is done, I am going to slice up my frozen prata into strips. This is basically 1 slice of the youtiao that I'm gonna have ready. I'm gonna make another one that is equal in width by stacking it right on top of the other, and then slice it down also. So now you have 2 strips, right? What you hope to achieve is them sticking together before you deep fry it. Ta-da! These are our youtiao. And for this tiny one, I've got my oil now. I'm just gonna heat it up. Okay, now that it's shimmering, I'm gonna check whether they are stuck together yet. And if they are, it's time to put them into the oil. So these are gonna cook really, really quickly. You know when you can flip them when it stiffens up. This fella's probably done. I'm gonna turn off the heat right now. We are done with this. And it's now time to just heat the soy milk up. Low, medium heat. We're just gonna warm this up very gently. I'm just stirring it so the heat gets distributed evenly. Okay, once you see that water vapor and steam is beginning to come out of the pot, right? Take a scoop of it and then ladle it down into your serving bowl. And now we're just gonna garnish it very lightly with a bit of shallot, a bit of lauganma on top to get that spiciness. And then we're done. So this is going to be our appetizer, soya milk sauce with a bit of chili oil, with a bit of shallots, with a bit of vinegar and the dark sauces. There's that bit of like bean curdish feel to it while still maintaining that freshness of the soya milk, as well as our version of a youtiao. That's basically 2 slices of prata sliced together. Yo, it actually smells good. The fragrance from the oil and the vinegar along with the lauganma. So perfect appetizer. What I would probably add more is a bit of chives, and seasoned with a bit of salt and pepper lah. So that's our finishing touch. Alright? So right now we're gonna move on to the mains, and this is where I need Chiara's help. Chiara! What was that for?
So what are we gonna do for mains?
For our main dish, we're gonna make soya milk hot pot. Chiara's gonna teach you guys how to do the broth, and I will show you guys how to do the meatball. So for the vegan meatballs, the main 4 ingredients are mushrooms, tofu, breadcrumbs, and onions. We'll be seasoning it with soya sauce, allspice, ginger powder, garlic powder,
And sesame oil.
Because I have a tiny food processor, I'm gonna have to blitz it up in batches. So you're gonna have your mushrooms inside, you're gonna have your onions inside, you're gonna have your tofu inside. And then you're gonna cover it and blitz it up. Ready, let's go. Okay, once it becomes a bit of a paste-like combination, like what you see here, this is 1 batch done. Get out. I'll just do batch after batch after batch, and then we'll be seasoning it. Right now, we have our tofu, mushroom, and onion paste, and we are gonna add in our breadcrumbs into it right now, just to act as a binder. We're just gonna give this a good mix, and then we're gonna season it. Alright, so to introduce some meaty elements into this, right, we're gonna use sesame oil, soya sauce, half a teaspoon of allspice, ginger powder, and garlic powder. Mix them up a bit more. Let's start making some meatballs. Okay, roll it around your palm and it should be like a circle in no time.
Oh, looking good.
Thank you.
You think Mandon looking good or?
What?
Hoi!
The meatballs looking good. Of course, Mandon looking good.
I am just adding a bit more color to the meatballs by brushing soya sauce over it. And as we let it sit in the marinade, right? Hopefully the taste will become sort of like chicken. I tasted it just now. It feels like it might be a bit too crumbly, but I think I'm quite happy with how it looks. And hopefully the taste will be nice also lah, once we cooked it in the soya milk hot pot. My meatballs are done, so it's time to call Chiara in so that she can show you guys how to make the broth.
Now for the broth, it's really simple. You only need 3 ingredients. The ingredients are Nutrisoy, fresh soya milk with no sugar added, red miso and dashi stock. So really easy, you just gotta open your Nutrisoy carton and then you just wanna empty the entire carton into the pot.
Over here, we see this weird-looking animal in its natural habitat. We carefully observe it from a distance, making sure not to interrupt it.
Now we're gonna add the kombu dashi into the pot and turn the heat on to medium and wait.
Meanwhile,
Are you Thai? No, because it's soy milk. You get it? You get it? Okay, once you see the steam coming, turn the heat down to medium-low and let it simmer for around 5 more minutes before you remove the sachet. Okay, I'm gonna remove the sachets. Okay, and now we're gonna add red miso for a kick of like extra umami. Okay, so first you get that creaminess from the soya milk, right? Then there's a layered flavor of umaminess plus a bit of like shiitake mushroomness, followed by a tad bit of sweetness from the sachets. It's actually a very rich, thick broth. Almost can fight tonkotsu broth, but almost. Actually, I think like soya milk is so versatile. You can eat it with a lot of noodle dishes. You can eat it cold by blending it with a block of tofu plus sesame sauce. And you can even drink it this manner as like a quick fix ramen. Now that the broth is ready, I'm gonna say, assemblers unite! Any moment now.
When you're doing your broth, right, I was actually assembling our hot pot.
Beautiful.
Chill, right? Aesthetic, right?
Okay, sorry, what?
The hot pot chill, right? Inside here we actually have napa cabbage, enoki mushrooms, tofu, shimeji mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, daikon, and carrot. We still got our meatballs to add in, and also one of my favorite toppings when it comes to hot pot, konjac noodles. Let's assemble our noodles. My hands are clean, so I'm just gonna use my hands to put it into 2 very nice balls. These are the meatballs that I made just now. Very gently pick this up and then put it into our pot. I'll just line it right in the middle here, okay? So now that we have assembled it fully already, right, I will need you to put your broth inside this, and then we'll just let it warm up, simmer, and then as it warms up, right, we can prepare our desserts. I mean, you can prepare our desserts.
Now for the dessert, and you know, every time there's 3-course meals, right? I don't know why, but you are giving me the desserts. Is it because I'm the sweetest at Eatbook?
No.
And I'm gonna make this layered, a beautiful black sesame soya milk pudding. Because this is a vegan 3-course meal, we're gonna use agar-agar instead of gelatin. So what you're gonna get is like a firmer pudding texture. You only need 5 ingredients for this recipe, really simple. First one is Nutrisoy's fresh soya milk with reduced sugar, agar-agar powder, sugar, coconut cream, and black sesame paste. Now I'm gonna keep these 2 in the fridge first while I work on the soya milk and sugar and agar-agar. So before you turn the heat on, just combine the soya milk, sugar and agar-agar powder together. And then now you turn the heat on to medium-low. Okay, I'm gonna give it a stir once in a while because I don't want to burn the soya milk below. Bring it to a rolling boil. So rolling means it's like bubbling like that. And then bring it to a lower heat, let it continue boiling for 1 minute as you stir continuously. There was 1 minute! Take it off the heat. So you want to grab the coconut milk and the black sesame back out. What you want to do with agar-agar recipes is that any flavouring, any ling long long you want to put inside agar-agar mixture, do it after the boiling session. So now we're going to flavour it with coconut milk. So this one adds a layer of like luscious richness to the pudding. Stir it in until everything is well combined. The smell, right, is the epitome of fragrance. Okay, now for desserts. Actually, what's great about using agar-agar versus gelatin is that agar-agar can actually set in room temperature. So with your beautiful glassware, you're gonna make beautiful layers with the soya milk layer first. Grab your sieve and sieve through it. Now for the black sesame layer, we're gonna just add a tablespoon of black sesame into the remaining soya milk mixture. So you wanna scoop the black sesame paste and mix it in until you don't see the clumps anymore. And we're done! Okay, it's not set yet, so I'm gonna put it in the fridge before I pour the black sesame layer in.
A few moments later.
Let me get my beautiful glasses back out. Whoa! Huh? Okay, I'm gonna pour a second layer. Ooh, tell me when to stop. Ta-da! Let me sprinkle a bit of black sesame on top. There you have it. A beautiful dessert in a beautiful cup with beautiful layers and hopefully beautiful flavors. Ta-da! Check it out, check it out!
Yo, so chill.
Sorry, what? Again?
So chill.
Oh, thanks. But are you ready? Should we serve the two people?
Yes, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, let's drag them to the studio.
Yes, let's go. Come, carry one. You carry one, I carry one.
Must like hold it like a baby.
Oh my god, too much, a lot. Oh, I really love meat.
You don't
oh
have to
my
eat
god, you
vegetable,
don't
right?
give me vegetable.
You don't like to eat vegetable,
I
right?
hate it.
I mean, I also love eating vegetable, but meat now.
Meat inside got eat. Means you're supposed to eat meat. Vegetable? Okay, never mind.
I'm a vegetarian for 16 straight years.
Okay.
And then I gave up. Because my dad is a pure vegan. There's a period, I think about 1 year, I tried to follow his diet. I think pretty good for me, I think.
Oh. I have never been a vegan. I have never wished to be a vegan.
Why?
Okay, like at most I've been to vegetarian restaurants and that's when I met like Mars or whatever. If not, there's no way you'll see me at a vegan shop. I'm sorry, but yeah.
I did try quite a couple of them, like because the vegan vegetarian world got a lot of like mock meat.
Okay, now you've come to the right person. Prove me wrong.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, it got some spice or mala, is it?
This one looks like the youtiao, like this is like the baby version.
Baby youtiao.
Wow, inside got a lot of other stuff.
What's this ah?
Oh, it's
It's like,
really
is it
a
soy
mala.
or is it like tofu like that? It looks like a Chinese dish, you know?
The mapo tofu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
It smells like bak chor mee.
A bit, yeah. Okay, ready? Oh.
It's like quite hearty.
It's like a curd version of the mapo tofu,
Oh,
but
yeah.
not as spicy.
And then like this is mix of textures lah. It's quite nice lah.
But I think overall, this is a very open the stomach,
Appetizing.
appetizing. Good job.
I hate to say
Good
this,
job,
but the first dish
the first
is
dish.
quite nice.
Wow!
Wow, this is huge eh!
This is like collagen hot pot.
Yeah, like the Japanese kind, like a bit cloudy, then like
Oh
got
yeah,
soy related one.
yeah.
Wow, can we like see what's inside? I'm very curious.
If you notice, like there's like 4 huge meatball.
Yeah,
but they say
yeah.
it's vegan. Okay.
You feel like you drink so then feel like crying, that kind.
Yeah. Hey, I'm surprised because from like one glance the soup actually looks not as thick as I thought.
It's
You know?
damn nice eh.
Oh, but actually it's very
Help.
thick the meaty meat.
Okay.
I still.
It's crunchy.
This is the first time I eat one mock meat that doesn't taste like anything like any meat. But it's not. This is not a bad thing. Although it's a bit mushy, I'm not too used to that. But I think the ingredients inside, it has a bit of crunch inside, and the savory part of the whole meatball, right? Wow, I tell you, spot on.
So it's kind of very Japanese style. This soup has managed to taste more like savory.
Like
savory
it's like
soup.
another world open up for the soya bean milk,
Yeah,
right?
it's like a
I think-
sesame soya curd. Hey!
Then no, they say how to prove that this is a good solid dessert, right? You put over your head.
You pull off. I'm the only one that's good. Ah! Ah! Good dessert, good dessert!
Good dessert. It's a good dessert. Wow, it's a jelly.
It has like multi layers.
Honestly, Oh, my 29 years. I've never tried this before. And you know, you go to those hotel, those buffet kind of place, their so-called best dessert cannot even beat this. I'm not joking. If you don't believe, you comment, you say you don't believe.
We send one.
Ask them to make for you one, really.
I mean, like, to me, I taste like two different layers. So the bottom layer is more of a soya jelly, frozen jelly.
Yeah.
And then the top is a black sesame frozen jelly too.
Yeah, but it's a bit mushy compared to. So actually, although they are both like jelly, there's a bit of mushiness to it. Yeah, you know what's the best thing about this?
What?
It is not that sweet.
Oh yeah.
So if you are like health conscious, this actually will work. Yes!
Yes. Vegan.
You should say one, huh? Like 72-hour challenge.
Alright, this is it, people. Let's move. Let's go.
Because for me, right, the 16 years, right, although it's not like pure vegan, only a vegan 1 year, but then it's very hard, even for the main industry, to have such a savory taste. My dad is actually a chef, so he's struggling to find dish that can attract more meat eaters. And then, wow, I think I must let my dad try.
As a meat lover, right, I wasn't trying to find the taste of meat. It's more of like, okay, having an open mind, like tasting new types of like vegan dishes which I have never tasted, and then like finding the sweet spot in it, like in the sense like finding what I like about it. And actually also quite impressed by how like soya milk can be, I don't know, can be used in so many ways. And so many forms.
Actually, if you tell me the soup base is soya milk, I mean other than that, a bit of the taste, actually I cannot tell. Like,
which is kind of a good thing, right?
It is a good thing.
Yeah, because you like it's not so intrusive until you think like you're very averse to the idea.
Yeah. So I choose to be a vegetarian for 16 years because so basically I saw this cartoon. So it's trying to teach people to go vegan, you know. I see already when I'm young I cry, Then from that day on I say no, I must not kill animal. And then I will save the environment. So actually from young I'm like yes, vegan.
How about health wise?
Oh, health wise, of course.
Health benefits wise.
Plant-based diet, right? The overall calories intake is definitely lower. Cholesterol calories all the so-called bad stuff. It's lower. So you can eat the same amount of food that makes you full, right?
Yeah.
In the plant-based diet,
Yeah.
but you have half the calories.
Recently I did a health checkup.
Then
like the cholesterol not too good.
Oh no.
So maybe
It's a sign. Yeah.
soya
home
bean
and
soup.
go
Soya
and-
bean dessert.
You go and make yourself and eat at home.
It's so hard, It's so hard,
What was hard on your part?
Remember last week we were trying out the recipes? I was so frustrated at not being able to find that savory note for the soup, for the broth, and then for the appetizer also, because everything was so plant-based. That was like one of my biggest struggles until we found things like kombu, until we found things like mushrooms, and then we experimented, and then yeah, so I'm quite glad that they liked it. Don't know whether they fake like it or but Bolin took the whole pot out already.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a success. But I think this is like one of the hardest Eatbook Cooks episode that we had like mentally, because we had to think of the recipe.
I think a big challenge is also trying to replace animal-based products. For yours, it would be meat in the meatballs, and mine would be gelatin in the dessert. And also, I mean, it's very hard because you don't get the desired texture. But we did well based on the flavors. They were raving about the flavors, right?
We did well.
You need to give ourselves a pat on the back.
Yeah, honestly, I've been eating a lot more plants than meat.
Okay, well, I love meat, but I'll only eat meat when I'm outside because at home, I'm too tired to deal with meat. So the main that we did, right, I would do the exact same thing, but I might just throw in a pork belly or two inside. And so I feel like it's not difficult to go plant-based.
Yeah, so the cool thing was that after we made the soup, right, and we tried it a bit, it's actually the same level of creaminess as what you expect from a fish bone broth. I guess the best part of it was that the ones that we used had no sugar added, or like reduced sugar. So there's no like external factors that will affect the taste.
It's like a very clean canvas. You can put any color of paint, any kind of flavor on top, and you will still be able to control what you want it to taste like at the end. And it's so good for lactose intolerant people like us. I drink soybean milk pretty often, you know why? I learned it from my ex. Because every time we go gym together in the past, we'll buy a packet of soybean drink to like top up because it's high in protein, right?
True,
Right?
yeah.
Because when you work out, wow, very tired. You don't want to eat like a full meal or like a whole block of tofu. You just want to drink something and like get your protein intake for the day done. No, but honestly, I feel like it's a very good hack because it's already so rich and like full of flavor. It's a very good base to start, especially for hot pot.
Then you can bluff people that this one is collagen soup.
Yeah, I feel like just now if we bluff Adria and Bolin that we hour this for X amount of hours, they would believe it.
Confirm believe one. We'd like to thank Nutrisoy for making this video possible.
Nutrisoy's products are now vegan!
If you are a meat lover looking to incorporate more plant-based food into your diet, you can find out how Nutrisoy is an easy first step to leading a healthier, plant-based lifestyle.
The info is in the description box down below. And thank you for watching this episode of Eatbook Cooks!
If you like this video, you can watch more of our videos over there.
And don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
Bye!
This one is mine. Wow, so light!